So I have this bag full of stuff that I am decluttering. I am not the type of person to go through all my foundations, go through my powders, my blushes, my highlighters. I will do one with my pigments because I pretty much know that a lot of my pigments I need to get rid of because I never ever touch them because I just find them so messy. But when I'm using a product or when I like go to do my makeup, I'll look at something and I'll be like, I never use you. You need to go. You need to leave my collection and stop overwhelming me. So this whole bag is full of stuff. So yeah, I'm just going to start getting rid of stuff. So let's move all this aside. Let's just start with eyeshadows. So these eyeshadows were from Wet n Wild, and I pretty much know that I'm going to get rid of these 4 palettes here. I broke the dark brown here. Although these are really nice palettes, and this style is really nice quality, and you might be looking at me like, why are you getting rid of these 2? They're like limited edition or whatever, or not. Yeah, I think these were both limited edition. This is Weird Blasting Off, and it has this really nice taupey shade down on the bottom. Also, Silent Treatment, but I'm going to pass these along because I never grabbed for these, so I am going to go ahead and get rid of them. This here is the Comfort Zone palette that everybody raves about. You know, I honestly have a hard time letting this palette go because this color down here is just so amazing. You know the color I'm talking about. This color here, which is that, you know, duochrome type shade. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. I never use it. I never use it. And I do have duochromes, you know, and other palettes and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go ahead. And this here is basically like walking on eggshells, these 3 here. And I'm going to keep that palette already. So although this green is a really nice green, I'm going to see if anybody wants it. If anybody takes it, then they can have it. But if they don't take it, then I guess I'll keep it. But for now, this palette is going to go to somebody else if they want it. And then the last one is this palette here. Blue Had Me at Hello. I think I've used this palette maybe 1 time. And I made a really pretty look with it. But I'm just keeping it because of this side over here. Like these colors scream to me. But I never reached for it. I always thought, you know what, I'll keep it because the colors on this side are just so vibrant, and I'll use it as a, you know, like a liner type color with a beachy theme or whatever, but I never pull it out. But I'm just, I mean, oh my gosh, this, you know what, I don't know, like, again, if someone takes this palette from me, then they can have it. If they don't take it, I'll keep it. One palette I know that I'm going to give away is from Revolution, Makeup Revolution, and it is the Neutrals versus Neutrals. Now, looking at this palette, you're thinking, why would you want to get rid of that? This top row is so gorgeous, but this shadow, or this palette, is very powdery and patchy to me. Like, I have shadows from lower end like NYX that just perform way better than this does. I want to love this, but it's just so powdery, and I don't reach for it for that reason. Like, oh my god, it just looks so beautiful on me, right? But when you go to apply it on your eyes, it's very, like, this shade right here is a shade I gravitate towards, but you see it, I don't know, can you see that? It's so powdery. It's like just so powdery and flaky and patchy. So I am going to go ahead and give this palette up. I only ended up paying $6 for it because I believe the palette retails for $10, and then I had some kind of coupon or something like that. So I did get this at a deal, but like the colors that I gravitate towards, they're just not holding up. And then I haven't really even played with this bottom. Let me look at this one. Oh my god. Why? Okay, another one. I need to keep this for a while. I need to keep this. I am going to get rid of, I had every intention of getting rid of it, and then when I swatched a particular color, I was like, no, I can't get rid of this. But this palette is not worth keeping for 2 shades. This shade here is a gorgeous rose gold shade, so I need to swatch it But the thing about it is it's patchy, even with your fingers. You know, a lot of these shades you have to use your fingers. So originally when it goes on my finger, it looks gorgeous. If you can see that. If you can see that, it looks so pretty on my finger, but it's very patchy on my hand. And then the other color that I was like, yes, I need to keep this palette, was this shade here. And it's very patchy on my hand also. When using this, I didn't just do finger swatches. I've used it a few times, and I realized that it's just too powdery and patchy for me. For someone with, you know, higher expectations, I don't care for it. And I hate the fact that there's the names of the shadows. But this is from Makeup Revolution. This is their Neutrals versus Neutrals palette. I'm going to go ahead and pass this along. I know some of you might think I'm crazy, but the performance level on this palette is just not very good. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this palette also. I have a bunch of samples. Let me just show you all the samples that I have that if people want these samples, then they can have it. I hardly ever use samples. This is SPF of 40. The Healthier Sunscreen Face Natural Tinted SPF of 40. This is Clean White Woods perfume sample. This Tom Ford Orchid Soleil. When you originally spray it on you, it smells like flowers. It smells like orchids. I don't care for that smell. It does end up settling down, but that initial smell I can't get over. So, and then this is a Atelier Mandarin perfume sample. Somebody wants it, they can have it. Those are my samples that I'm getting rid of. Oh, here's one more. Here's a Sicily. This is the Express Flower Gel Hydrating, Toning, and Firming Mask. So the sample, just haven't been interested in it, and I'm going to go ahead and let all these things go. Next here on the list are brushes. So I'm getting rid of some brushes. So these are the brushes that I'm getting rid of. Sorry if you're hearing all that stuff fall. Okay, so the first one I'm getting rid of, this belonged to when Walmart had their high definition brushes. I absolutely love this. I would use it for highlighting. Very nice, soft, synthetic brush, but I never reach for it, and maybe somebody else will get good use out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and give this away. This is from Crown, and it's supposed to be a blush brush. I don't know if I ordered this. I don't know how I got it. Angled blush brush. I don't like it. When I washed it, it bled. I just never reached for it. So it is soft, but I think it sheds, and I think that's the reason why I'm definitely giving it away. So this is from Crown. This is from Laura Geller. It's very soft, but it's just not the type of brush that I would reach for. It's just not the shape that I would reach for, so I'm going to go ahead and give this away. It is very soft, but, you know, like I said, it's not a type of brush I reach for. I think I used it once, cleansed it, and then it's going in the bag, so. Alright, and then these two are from Mally. What you're supposed to do is they had a cream and a powder type blush formula. You would use this side for the cream and then this side for the powder. I already own one of them. I kept getting these brushes in my auto delivery, and I don't need 3, so I'm going to go ahead and pass these 2 along. These 2 here are from Real Techniques. This is supposed to be an eyeliner brush. It's just way too fat for my eye, and it's not even a great, like, it's kind of, I would say it's kind of scratchy if you try to use it for a smudger type brush. So I'm going to go ahead and give that away. And then this here is the brow brush. It's quite large also. I don't have big bushy brows, so this would be better suited for like my stepdaughter. She has very thick brows, and this would work well for her, but for me, it's just too big. This brush here, I think this came maybe in the Neutrals versus Neutrals palette. I don't know. It's just a brush that has a sponge tip and then a brush. This brush side is actually soft, and that's the reason I kept it, but I don't reach for it, so I'm going to give it away. And then the last brush is an Edward Best brush. This came in a palette that I decluttered a long time ago, and the brush is soft, but I don't reach for it, so it can go bye-bye too. Two more brushes I found. Okay, so this brush here is the e.l.f. contour brush. I mentioned having loving this brush in my e.l.f. favorite brushes video. I already have two, so I don't need two. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of one. I don't need two hoarding up my collection. So this is going. This is another e.l.f. brush. Excuse me. This is Modern Minerals, and I might have got this in a BoxyCharm box. It's a little stiff for my liking. Like, it's just really stiff. It doesn't have a lot of give. I never reach for it. It is soft, but I just never reach for it so somebody else can use it. Two products I will be throwing away. One is from Urban Decay and the other one is from Tarte. These have just dried out. This is the Smolder Eyes. It dried out, and the other one that's dried out is from Urban Decay. It's the 24/7 Glide On Shadow Pencil and Midnight Cowboy. For some reason, when they came out, when Urban Decay reformulated and came out with them, these 24/7 Glide On Shadow Pencils and this kind of, you know, packaging, they just dried out so easy. So $20 basically thrown out the door, because I've had this for many years. I've had it for like 3 years, 4 years, maybe 3 to 4 years. And every time I would go to use it, I would have to sharpen it. So I would have to sharpen it in order to, use it. So I just kept sharpening it, sharpening it down. And it was just a horrible, horrible shadow pencil. This one here, same thing. For some reason, it dried out. It just didn't work. So this is from Tarte, and this is probably, I'd say, at least 3 or 4 years old. It's going in the trash also. Blush. So for a while, I really enjoyed this Prestige blush. This is in Sugar and Spice. With this blush, you have to keep building it up on my skin tone. So I think it'll work better with someone with fairer skin tone. So that blush is going to go bye-bye. And then Call Me Crazy, but I am going to get rid of this blush palette from City Color. These highlights are amazing. And the blushes are very chalky. So that is the reason why I'm getting rid of this palette, because of the blushes, not because of the highlighters. The highlighters are amazingly pigmented, and just, if somebody doesn't want this palette, I'll definitely depot the highlighters, because they're definitely worth keeping. I mean, look at that. They're just so pretty, but I'm going to go ahead and give the palette away as a whole. See if somebody wants it. It does come with a nice large mirror, but the blushes are just too powdery for me, so I'm going to go ahead and pass this. The next thing I'm going to go ahead and give away is this Hugo for Women. It is several years old. It's quite old. It's probably a good 5 years old. It was given to me by someone that, you know, works for a department store, and then on occasion they'll give them, like, what do you call that? Gratis. And so that's why it has a sticker on it. But this to me smells like underarm deodorant on me. Like, initially it smells like underarm deodorant. So definitely, I mean, it's practically full, but I don't like it when I spray it on me, so I'm going to go ahead and give it away. All right, on to lip liners. I am going to give away these 3 lip liners. These lip liners, this one is from Ofra. It's in nude. You can see that it leans peachy. That's not nude to me. That's more like peach. It's a very nice color. Like, on somebody else, it would be a nice color. But if you know me at all, you know that I do not like anything that leans peach or orangey on me. And that is the reason why I'm giving away this Coral from IBY. I think this was BoxyCharm. You see that? That is definitely coral and orange. So it's going to someone else. I do not like oranges or peaches on me like that. This last one is just a clear liner from Prestige. They sent me this one, but I already had one. So I'm going to go ahead and give away the newer one to somebody that would want it. It's one of those priming pens that you can use on your lip and your eye. So somebody else can take advantage of this, because I already have one. two lip products that I'm giving away are, one is from Rimmel, and these are their Provoca lips. They're supposed to last 16 hours. This one, for some reason, like I've had success with a couple of the other ones, but this one in, what is it? Play with Fire, totally like flaked on me and looked horrible. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this one along. I think I used it like 1 or 2 times. So if someone loves me enough that they know that I'm not like a nasty person, then they will take it. Same thing with this Kat Von D. It leans peach. I used it once. I knew that I looked at it and I'm like, this is leaning a little really orangey. And I tried it once. I hated it because it's orangey on me and I don't like that kind of color on me. So somebody else can make use of this. Alright, another eyeshadow palette that I'm going to go ahead and pass along is from Tarte. This is their Trio. These were like QVC, TSV. You would get a different color set every time. And this one here, I just don't gravitate towards. Like, that color in the middle is just not something. It's very cool tone brown. It's not something I like and just never reach for it. I've probably used it once to swatch. And so the packaging is nice. It's that bamboo. It is a magnetic closure, but I'm going to go ahead and pass this one along. This Temptu, what is it? Shimmer bronzer came in a BoxyCharm. It like barely shows up on my darker skin. So somebody else can make better use of that. See? I mean, it's like pointless. It's just not worth me even messing with it. So somebody with fair skin will get better use out of this, but it's not for me. Something that I need to give away before it goes bad because it expires next April is this Josie Maran Argan Daily Moisturizer SPF of 47 Protect and Perfect. I've used this a couple of times. It leans very pinky toned on me, and so I'll show you that. You can see there that it has a pink hue to it, and on my neutral to olive skin, that's just not something I can walk out the door wearing and be like, oh, I don't have any makeup on, I just have SPF on. No, definitely can tell on my skin that I'm wearing something because it leans pink, or it renders pink. So yeah, I'm gonna pass this one along. So then I have this from Pop Beauty. It's called the Sparkle Sauce in Golden. This is basically like an eye primer. The problem is it has gold flecks in it and gold glitter, and I just can't get over it. Like, there's gold glitter, so when you go to put it on your eye, there is gold. You can't really tell here. It does hold the eyeshadow nicely, but there's just too much gold flecks in it. It's not showing on camera, but in person you can see the golden flecks in it. So going to pass this one along. I got this facial mask from Moline and Sparrow in a BoxyCharm. I'm going to go ahead and pass that along. Another thing I'm going to give away, lip-wise, is this Bella Pierre lipstick. This is the Kiss Proof Lip Cream from Bella Pierre. I got this. It's a beautiful color. Do not get me wrong. I love the color, but the formula on this is absolutely horrible. The formula on this is so sticky. My lips stuck together practically the whole time I was wearing it. So this has to go. The color, again, is gorgeous. It is a beautiful mauve color that's right up my alley. But I'm going to get rid of this because I couldn't get over the formula. Like, I've used it twice. The first time I used it, I was like, holy hell, this is sticky. This is awful. I cannot use this. But I was like, the color's so pretty. Let me try it again. I tried it again, and I was like, oh no, forget this. Forget it. I can't do it. I can't do it. So this is going to go to somebody else if they want it. If not, it's going in the trash. And I got that in a BoxyCharm. These depotted shadows that I have, these are Urban Decay. That's Mally, I believe. And then that's Physicians Formula. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those things. I don't ever reach for it. And it's, you know, a nice blush for somebody that would want a very sheer type blush. Don't even show up on me. So getting rid of that, getting rid of those shadows. They're very light and just don't fit my palette scheme that I have now. And this is a palette from Sally's. It's the brand Bitsy. And originally it had like the quadrant type insert, but I took it out so that I could give these to someone as a set if they want it. I am getting rid of this Anastasia palette. It has a Ofra shadow in there because that is not the type of color I wear. I do not like grays anymore. I just don't like grays on me. You know, you get to a point where you're like, you know what looks good on you. And grays do not look good on me. Makes me look dirty. I don't know. So getting rid of that. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the palette also because I have like 3 other ones. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. And then I have these from ColourPop, these empty palettes. Oh, I did, this is, I can't remember the brand of this blush. Somebody, actually Emily Noel recommended this. It's a very inexpensive blush, or very inexpensive, but a really pretty color, but it's kind of patchy and it didn't last long on my skin. So that is the reason why I'm giving it away. And I just put it in this empty palette that I pulled the little 2 thing out and then just made it a 1 palette. But I have 4 of these. I did keep 1. But when I ordered my ColourPop collection, when I ordered the Valentine's duos, I got 5 of them, but they're really pointless because there's no name on the back. You don't know which palette you're grabbing for. And there's only 2 shadows in there, and that's just not my style. So I am getting rid of those. So let me just go ahead and show you everything I'm getting rid of. So getting rid of these palettes, Josie Maran, Protect and Perfect, Timeless Beauty palette from City Color, Tarte Trio, Temp 2 bronzer, Moline Sparrow facial mask. If someone takes these off my hands, they can have them. If not, they might go in my collection. From Wet n Wild, Prestige Blush, Perfume by Hugo. These 2 trios from Wet n Wild that I know that are beautiful. I do know that they're beautiful, guys. I just need to get rid of them. This empty palette from Anastasia. Oh, one thing I didn't show you is this Makeup Geek. This is a duochrome pigment and kaleidoscope. Now, I have half of this in the newer pot that they sent me. When they originally sent these out, they started to crack. So they sent us new pots to put them in. I believe this is the older pot because I'm not seeing my crack. Oh, there it is. So like if you were to put the little sifter in it, let me just do a, so there it is there. But I know I will not get use out of, and it does look silver, so I know you're like, you just said you don't like grays or whatever. I can stand some silvers, but I don't like grays. But I'm trying to show you the duochrome effect. Like looking at it right now from my vantage point, I see pink, I see purple, I see blue, I see green. I mean, I see all kinds of colors. It's so pretty, but I went ahead and just left half of the pigment in this to give away, and then and I took the sifter out of there because I didn't want anybody to break it further because it started to break. It started to crack, but it's still okay. So I went ahead and left half of the pigment in there for somebody else to use. Then I'm getting rid of this Bella Pierre liquid lipstick. Horrible, horrible. Getting rid of all these brushes. Getting rid of lip products. And then all these samples. This Pop Beauty Sparkle Sauce, Sicily perfume. And yeah. So those things are going to somebody else if they want them. And that is it for my declutter. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you are okay with the fact that I didn't do it in groups like a lot of people do on YouTube. But I knew that these things are things that I don't use, that I don't reach for, I don't gravitate towards. And why keep them in my collection? If you want to see a makeup collection video, I can do that. But this is pretty much the stuff that I am decluttering, that I'm getting rid of. Alright guys, don't forget to give me a big old thumbs up. And hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.